People say life changes slowly, but for Daniel Carter, a single dad struggling to survive, everything changed in one impossible moment. A billionaire woman who mocked him every single day, humiliated him, insulted him, laughed at his poverty, suddenly leaned in and kissed him in front of everyone. Nobody understood why. Not even Daniel. But what she whispered next would change both their lives forever. Daniel Carter's mornings were always the same: early, quiet, and heavy. He worked as a janitor in the luxury high-rise office building downtown, dragging his mop across marble floors while executives in tailored suits stepped around him like he was invisible. But one person never ignored him. Lila Kensington. Young, ruthless, billionaire heiress. The CEO of Kensington Industries. A woman who walked like she owned the world, because she actually did. Every morning, she passed Daniel near the lobby. Every morning, she gave him the same cold, cruel half-smile. "You missed a spot," she'd say without looking at him. Or, "maybe if you moved faster, people wouldn't slip." Or sometimes she didn't speak at all, she just laughed when her assistants joked about his old shoes, his patched-up uniform, his worn-out hands. Daniel tried not to care. He couldn't afford pride, he had a daughter to raise. Emma, 7 years old, with big brown eyes and a bravery he envied. She was the reason he kept going. She was the reason he worked 3 shifts, barely slept, and still woke up smiling. But Lila Kensington's words still stung. Because she reminded him of everything he used to be: a man with dreams. A man who studied engineering before life fell apart. A man who once believed he could provide more than survival. One rainy afternoon, Daniel was fixing a broken elevator panel, a task nobody wanted but he always volunteered for, when Lila approached. "You again," she sighed. "Why are you always in the way?" Daniel kept working. "I'm just trying to do my job." She scoffed. "Well, try doing it without making the building look like a secondhand store." Her assistants laughed. Daniel didn't. That night, when he picked Emma up from school, she noticed something different. "Daddy, why do your eyes look sad?" He forced a smile. "Just tired, sweetheart." Emma climbed onto his lap, touched his face gently, and whispered, "Someday, people will see how good you are. I just know it." He hugged her, and for a moment the world felt kind again. But the next morning, everything changed. Daniel was cleaning the hallway outside Lila's office when she stormed out, followed by angry board members. Papers were flying, voices rising, tempers exploding. Lila looked shaken, genuinely, deeply shaken, for the first time since he'd known her. She didn't even insult him. She just walked away. Hours later, when the building emptied, Daniel found something lying near the elevators. A folder. Expensive. Embossed with gold. Inside documents, reports, handwritten notes, all in Lila's handwriting. He had no idea that what he held was the one thing she desperately needed. The thing she'd been searching everywhere for. And it would pull him into her world in a way he never expected. The next morning, Lila arrived earlier than usual. She looked exhausted, her hair slightly out of place, something nobody had ever seen. "Good morning, Ms. Kensington," her staff greeted nervously. She didn't respond. Instead, she marched straight toward Daniel. For a split second, he braced himself for another insult. But she didn't look angry. She looked scared. Did you find a black folder yesterday?" "Near the elevators?" she asked, voice trembling. Daniel nodded slowly. "Yes. I kept it safe. Here." He handed it to her. She grabbed it like she'd been underwater and he had just thrown her a lifeline. "You have no idea what this means," she whispered. He didn't. Not yet. Later that afternoon, as Daniel mopped the lobby, suddenly the sound of high heels echoed behind him. Lila Kensington. Surrounded by staff. Camera flashes from corporate photographers. Businessmen watching. "Mr. Carter," she called. Daniel turned. And in the middle of the marble floor, in front of everyone, Lila stepped toward him, grabbed his face gently, and kissed him. Gasps filled the lobby. Phones went up. People froze. Daniel's heart raced. His mind screamed. Nothing made sense. When she pulled away, her voice trembled against his cheek. "Thank you for saving my company." He blinked, confused. "What are you talking about?" She swallowed hard. "The folder you found, it contained proof. Evidence that someone inside my board is trying to destroy me. Without it, I would have lost everything." Daniel stared at her. "But why kiss me?" She exhaled shakily, like she'd been holding her breath for years. "Because people have treated me like a machine my whole life. Cold. Untouchable. But yesterday, you did something nobody ever does around me." "What?" "You were kind." Her voice cracked. "You didn't laugh when I was struggling. You didn't kick me when I was vulnerable. You just helped." Daniel didn't know what to say. For once, Lila didn't mock him. She didn't talk down to him. She looked at him like he was the only person in the world who saw her as human. At that moment, the entire building was watching. Her board. Her assistants. The people who'd always feared her. And she didn't care. She turned to them and said loudly, "From today, respect this man. He's worth more than all your arrogance combined." Daniel's world spun. He had no idea this moment, this unexpected, impossible moment, would lead them into a storm of jealousy, danger, hidden betrayals, and a bond stronger than either of them ever imagined. Because what came next would test them both. And show the world that even a billionaire can fall, and be saved by the kindness of a single dad.